An Uber driver stayed by his side when he was alone in the ER, and 7 years later, they are still friends. I'm going to read into this wonderful story from today, you guys. Let's go. This is Reganelite here. So this article is from today, and the headline is: an Uber driver stayed by his side when he was alone in the ER, and 7 years later they're still friends. That one act of kindness helped me see the good in the world again. And you know what? A lot of people go through so much physical and mental things in life, and there are times where whatever the reasons whatever situations you're in, you can feel like that there's nobody there, that nobody cares about me, that I'm all alone, sort of thing. That kind of mindset is always there, unfortunately, sadly for a lot of people, and it's very, very sad, very sad when you have those feelings. But things like this, and then we're talking about an Uber driver here who didn't need to stay with this person in the ER, but chose to. The compassion. And I love the fact that still after 7 years they're still friends. And this a reminder here of just doing that touch of kindness, and it can turn that into a really powerful bond between two people. And I love that kind of thing. So 7 years ago, a college senior named Joey Romano was skateboarding near the University of Texas at Austin when he swerved to avoid a car and slammed into a ditch, breaking his wrist. Romano made a choice that would change his life, though he couldn't have known at the time. He called an Uber instead of an ambulance. I didn't have a very good insurance and I was worried about the cost, Romeo, now 29, tells today.com. When Beni Lukumu arrived, Romero was still lying on the ground. Carefully, Romero helped him into the car, inclining the passenger seat to minimize movement and pain. Their first stop was urgent care, but Romero's injury was way too serious and he was quickly sent to the emergency room. There they are there. Romero insisted on driving Romero to the hospital at no charge, and then he found out Romero had no family nearby to come help him. Romero had immigrated to the United States from Congo at age 25 and knew what it was like to be far from loved ones. It's very when you think about what people who make that big sacrifice to choose to leave their families, to choose to leave their country, leave their life behind for bigger and better opportunities to come to the US, UK, or other places. It's a big risk. It is a big risk to make that, to try and make more of yourself, and it can be very lonely. It can be a very lonely affair for some people. With a busy day of rides ahead of him, Lukumu looked to his younger passenger, alone and excruciating pain. It wasn't even a question for me, Lukumu, who now works in insurance, tells today. I was staying with Joey. He needed somebody to be by his side. Romero recalled how Lukumu took charge, singing him to the ER. He then sat with him from 2 to 8 p.m. Lukumu said the hours he missed at work didn't even register. His new friend mattered more. I was on a morphine drip, and I remember feeling glad he was there. He has this warm presence, and strangely it felt like we had known each other forever, Romero has said. Romero's grandmother, who lives in Houston, made it to the hospital around the time he was discharged. She offered Romero a payment, which he politely refused, though he did agree to join them for dinner, a gesture that cemented a friendship lasting more than 7 years. Romero had no way of knowing it, but he found Romero at one of the lowest points of his life. His brother Johnny had died of leukemia at age 10 in 2008, and Romero was struggling badly with the grief. After losing my brother and experiencing so much loss beyond that, I just became really insular. I couldn't barely take care of myself, let alone others, he said. I just shut down and closed myself off, and I became really cold. Romero's voice thickens with emotion as he remembers how Lukumu pulled him out of that dark, isolated place. Meeting Lukumu, he says, was a turning point. It's what drives him to look for ways to help others whenever he can. He said, that one act of kindness helped me see the good in the world again. Romero says, having him spent his entire day with me, a complete stranger for no reason, that the goodness of his heart helped me to put things in perspective. Beni absolutely changed my life. Romero, an accomplished gospel singer, now works in the insurance industry in Austin, while Romero is a renewable energy developer. We check on each other every couple of times a year, Romero tells today.com. The memo hopes people will take from this story a message about the power of human connection, how a simple act of compassion can create bonds and change lives. The world is so divided right now, he says. What we need is love and kindness. The world is very much feels that way. When we cover the stories that the news that I cover on this channel and talk about, it does make you feel like that all the time. But then a story like this is once again a reminder that even though some of us may not have any direct connection or blood connection or relationship or whatever connection, we can still find a connection with somebody from somewhere on the other side of the world that can relate to what you're feeling, to what you're going through, or and whatnot, and reminded us that there are some really good people in the world, and we don't hear enough about them. And stories like this really does just which keeps my faith in humanity when it's very hard sometimes to believe in it. And kudos for everything that for the friendship that has been built between those two, and I love that. I love that this Uber driver went from that, and now he's insurance, and he's now making a success of himself, doing well for himself, and he has a friend that he can count on as well, especially because he was there for him, which he didn't need to be there, but he chose to help him out. So what do you guys make of this lovely lovely warm-hearted story here from today about this Uber driver? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comment section below. If you found this story heartwarming as I did, please hit that like button, share this across social media, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do check out the playlist of Good News, Good Vibes as well. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.